Radhe Radhe everyone, welcome back to the channel where code meets calm. So today we will be going through the logic behind the building of tabulation method, and I am covering this topic today because many of my friends have faced issue in this. So we will go behind the logic of how the tabulation method is built, and we will completely visualize it so that you do not face much issue in the further question which involve iterative or tabulation method. So today we are here with the problem of removal game, which is taken from obviously CSES sheet. This is the problem of DP obviously. So let's first go through the question, what the question is saying. So basically here we are given a list of n numbers and two players who move alternately, one each. A player remove either the first or the last number from the list and their score increases by that number. So basically what the question and we want to find the maximum possible score for the first player when both players play optimally. So I will guide you through the question. You can read the question on the screen. I am just telling what the question is saying. Let's take the input what is given 4513. So here we are given a list of numbers 4, 5, 1 and 3. So we are having two players and both players will play optimally, and we need to find that how much player 1 can get the points by removing the numbers either from the first place or from the last place. There are only two options and we need to find what will be the maximum point that the player 1 will get. So suppose player 1 is removing this first one, that is 4. So how much point he will give? He will get 4. Now in the second chance he will not get that. The second player will get the chance to remove from this. So when we are telling that suppose this is point L and this is point R, when we are telling that player 1 is taking the number from this point, that is L, so the point which is getting is V of L. Okay, so this V is basically this representing this array only vector. So if he is taking this point 4, then what point he is getting? V of L. But in the next chance he will not be getting the chance to get the number from this, the remaining one. So we need to subtract this chance. Now second thing what he can do is he can take the number from the last, so he will get the point V of R. But again when the second player moves in his chance, then the first player will not get the chance to take the number from this position. So we will subtract that position. So this is the basic behind the concept what we need to do. So how we can achieve the maximum point for the player 1. So let's suppose uh, player 1 has gain point S1, player 2 has gain point S2, and we need to find what is the maximum point that S1 can get. So if S1 will get maximum point, then obviously the S2 will get the minimum point. So suppose S1 is the point of first player, S2 is the point of second player. So if S1 is getting the highest point, so S2 will be getting the lowest point. That's why the S1 minus S2 will be the maximum difference that we will be getting. Is it clear? Okay. So let's suppose this is the DIF. Let's say this is D difference denoted by DIF. Now the second, this is equation 1. Second thing, S1 plus S2. will be equals to what? S. So we need to find this value of S1. This value we need to find. How we will be getting this? We will just add equation 1 and this equation 2, and we will get S1 is equals to S plus, that means the sum of both, the sum of the numbers in that list, plus difference by 2. So this is what we need to find. S1, the S, that is the sum of the numbers in the list plus the difference divided by 2. So this is the basic concept behind the formation of the logic, that we need to find the sum plus difference by 2. So this one who has the basic knowledge of game theory can do that. So let's go through what the how we will build the code. So here is the code. First of all, we are looking the memoization one. Then we will go through the tabulation formation. If you already know the logic behind the memoization one and you are just here to know the logic behind the tabulation method, then you can skip this part and move ahead. So here we have find the sum of all the numbers in that list. Suppose we are this is the first index pointing to L and R is pointing to the last index. Now we have called the function f for the uh, calculating the difference, maximum difference. So what will be the maximum difference? First of all, obviously for building memoization, we need to have a base case. So what will be the base case? Suppose at any time we are here at the point 1. L is also here and R is also here. So what is what we can do? We cannot skip it. We will take that. We only can take that. If L is also on this position and R is also on this position, then obviously we will take that one. So this is the base condition. When L is equals to R, then take that number obviously. And you know when we used to build memoization method, then we take this that all the numbers are initially not visited, so -1, or no, we haven't calculated it, so all the numbers in the DP vector is initialized as -1. So now the core part of this memoization method is this. Suppose if we are taking the number from the left position, so T of L denoting that number taking from the left position. So we are getting this number VL and we are subtracting this F. And suppose if we are taking the number from this right position, then we are taking VR minus this function. So this is what basically taking the position from the left number, taking the position from the right number, and we need to find the maximum of that, taking from the left, taking from the right. This is the basic memoization one. Okay, so this would have been clear to everyone that taking number from L will subtract this function, and taking number from right we will subtract this, and we do not have this as infinite problem chain where we will be stopping at that index only. So if we are taking the number from left position, then we will move ahead by L plus 1. If we are taking the position if we are taking the number from the right position, then we will move the index by R minus 1, and then we will store it in the DP table, DP, that we need to take the maximum of this. So in this way, we will get the difference. And finally, I have to previously shown you that what we need to find once we get this difference, then we need to have this S plus summation of all the difference divided by 2. So in this way, we will get this answer. Now, the code part, because of which I am making this video, is the tabulation one. So let's see how tabulation table will be built. So we do not have to worry much. Just we didn't. we have to take this memoization one, this memoization on, just consider this memoization one, and with this, with the help of this only, we will be building the tabulation method. So let's see further. So this is the tabulation method. What we have done here, we have created a 2D vector of dp where all the numbers are marked as initially 0 because we haven't calculated yet. So we are marking it as 0. Now we have run the two loops. Okay, now just see what we were doing in this memoization one. This part. Just copy this part in the tabulation method. And L is basically replaced with I and R is replaced with J. We are only doing this thing. L is replaced by I and R is replaced by J. Do not see this for loop for now. Just see this what we have copied from the memoization one. So here TL is equals to Vi minus this and Vj minus this. Here in this we were taking the function f, and this function f is replaced by the dp vector. Just mind it. In the tabulation one, we just replace the function, this function, with the dp. Okay? Okay. Now, here you can see that when we were taking the number from the left position, then we were iterating to the L plus 1. Now here L is replaced with I, so we will move to I plus 1, J will remain the same. And when we were taking the number from the right position, then we were moving to the R minus 1. So here R is replaced by J, so we are going to J minus 1. No worry. So this is calculated. Here also we were taking the maximum of this TL and TR. In the tabulation also we are taking the maximum of TL and TR, and since it was stored in DP of L and R, and now L and R are replaced by I and J, so we have replaced here by I and J. Clear? So till now we are clear with this. Okay. Now in this the base case was when L is equals to R, take that number. Here also when I is equals to J, that means L is equals to R, we are taking that number V of I. This is clear. Now the main problem where many students and many of my friends have faced the issue that how we will run the for loop. So I have told that I is L is replaced by I, and now let's see, we are forming using tabulation method, we are forming this dp table. So I have told you that L is replaced by I and R is replaced by J, and we till this we have been clear. So here you can see that TL is equals to this dp of I plus 1 and J. That means from here we can say, see that it is depending on the next state. Okay. So if it is depending on the next state, that means the next state has to be calculated. Without the calculation of next state, we cannot calculate the position of current state. That means we are iterating from the bottom position to the upper position. That's why we are here calculating the position of dp of I plus 1. That means we need to go from bottom this position to the up top level position. That's why here we are saying that I is equals to n minus 1 to 0. Is it clear? Since this dp is built in such a way, that's why we are iterating from I n minus 1 to I equals to 0. Now see this j. We are from the dp table, we are calculating the previous row. So I is starting from this position and J is starting, and J for calculation of the column, we need to have the position of the previous column. That's why suppose if we have been calculated this, suppose if we have calculated this, and from this only we are calculating this position. So for calculation of this position, we need to have the value stored in the previous column. That means the second column in this case. That's why this j is running from I to n. Is it clear? Once more, see. First we have filled copied that memorization part in the tabulation part. Now with the analysis of the DP, how it is storing the value, we are forming the for loop. So here I have seen that I plus 1 was in the DP state. So if I plus 1 is in the DP state, so for the calculation of I plus 1, we need to have the, it is showing that we need to have the next value. And for having the next value, we need to have tabulation methods starting from the bottom position to the top position. Is it clear? Okay. If here it was I minus 1, then you can analyze that, okay, if we are coming from the top position to the bottom position, क्योंकि अगर टॉप से बॉटम पे आते तभी हमें प्रीवियस स्टेट का वैल्यू चाहिए होता, यानी कि i माइनस वन का चाहिए होता, लेकिन हम बॉटम से टॉप पे जा रहे हैं, इसीलिए हमें i प्लस वन का पहले चाहिए हो रहा है इस करंट स्टेट को बनाने के लिए। इस करंट स्टेट को बनाने के लिए हमें i प्लस वन यानी कि इस थ्रो की हेल्प चाहिए हो रही है, और इस वैल्यू को बनाने के लिए हमें j माइनस वन यानी कि प्रीवियस कॉलम की हेल्प चाहिए हो रही है। इसीलिए हम यहाँ पे j को i से n तक रन करा रहे हैं। और i से ही क्यों करा रहे हैं, क्योंकि इस टेबल को बना रहे हैं तो i अभी यहाँ पर है, तो हम j को बनाने के लिए इसके पहले यहाँ से चालू करके ही पीछे जाएंगे ना, इसलिए हम लोग i से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। एक बार आप इसको रफ में लिख के देखना, तब आपको और ज़्यादा क्लियर होगा। और वीडियो को पॉज करके या फिर वापस रिमाइंड करके आप देख सकते हो। तो यहाँ से हमारा दो फॉर लूप आ गया, और ये तो लॉजिक सेम ही रहेगा कि सम प्लस डिफरेंस। एंड नाउ द मेन पॉइंट, वेयर इज दिस maximum difference is being stored? So for getting that, it is always here we were returning what we were returning, dp of l r, okay, the base state. So here the maximum difference is being stored here. That is, what is the last value we are storing in the dp table, that is the maximum difference we are finding. So the last value which is being stored in the dp table is the last, that means the topmost row, this row, and the last column, this column. So this green part which I have marked here is the maximum difference being stored. And once that maximum difference is being calculated, you can find the answer. So in this way, in the by using the tabulation method, you can just optimize the recursive stack which is used in memoization 1. But still the space of, there is not that much space optimization. It is still O of n square because we are building this table. So for optimizing the space, we need to have the another one. Let's see what is that. So we have seen here that for building the next and the current state, suppose if we were here, and for building the second row, we need to have the value of the third row. So this value, this 0 and 1th row were not needed. We were only needed this, the next state and the current state. These two only things were required. So now let's see from how we will be solving space optimization method from the tabulation one. See, dp of I plus 1, that means I plus 1 means what? The next state. So we will replace this with the next, next, and this is next is the vector 1. Also, I means the current state, so we have replaced this with the cur, that means which is denoting the current. And nothing else, just two things we have to do. dp of I plus 1 means what? The next state, so replace it with next. And dp of I means what? The current, so replace it with the current. And at the since we are moving up, so this current, this next state will take the position of the current. See, we were here, so this was the next state, okay? This was the next state. This was the next state. And this was the current state. So when we move up, when we move from here to here, then this next value will take the value of the current, since it will have to also move upward. So this next will take the value of the current. So here what we are doing this, the next has taken the value of the current. Okay, and nothing change has been done, just dp is replaced with this two vector current and next, because we are requiring the two values only, the current state and the next state. Nothing else is changed, and at the end this current state will be storing the maximum difference, and in this way we will get the answer. So here we have seen three method: memoization, tabulation one, and the space optimization method. So using next and current vector. If you are having still any doubt, just comment it. I will be guiding you and solving your query. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.